From Smyrna, Tennessee, it's the 2012 TSSAA Division I State Bowling Tournament. On to our first semifinal matchup here in the Division I for the girls. Hardin County 18-1 against Hendersonville 15-6. Hendersonville was no match for the ladies of Hardin County, and the Tigers won 6-2, 6-2, and 7-1 for a final score of 22-5. Jessica Kimball, the star, she led the Tigers bowling 3-game total of 668. The second semifinal matchup for the girls in Division I was between Collierville and Soddy-Daisy. Soddy-Daisy's Nikki Bell bowled the highest 3-game total individual score of 656, but Collierville had too many strong arms on their team. They were able to beat Soddy-Daisy. The scores were 2-6, 6-2, 6.5 to 1.5, which brought your final score to 17.5 to 9.5. All right, our first semifinal matchup inside of Division I for the boys. And our first matchup is Columbia Central at 19-0 and White Station at 20-5. You got Tim Kaiser, Austin Harrington, and Key Matthew as the strongest bowlers of the match and helped bowl Columbia Central into the final, beating White Station with scores of 5-3, 6-2, and 3-5, making the final score 17-10. Our second semifinal matchup featured two undefeated teams. Hardin County comes in at 20-0 and Soddy-Daisy 19-0. In the end, Soddy-Daisy was able to maintain their perfect record, with every bowler on the team going above 200 at least once, and they move on to the final. The final scores were 5-3, 2.5 to 5.5, and 5-3, to produce the final score of 15.5 to 11.5. Soddy-Daisy going on to the finals, and the Division I finals are next. So now on to the finals here in Smyrna, Tennessee for the 2012 TSSAA Division I Girls Championship. It's Collierville versus Hardin County. And here are some of your Game 1 highlights. Emily Nykiel and Vera Kimball both bowled well over 200. A great challenging matchup for these girls, but Kimball and the Tigers pulled off a Game 1 win with a score of 6-2. Now on to Game 2 highlights. And that second game would go to Hardin County. The teams earned 3 individual points apiece. However, the Tigers had a higher pin total, so the score of Game 2 is 5-3, the Tigers. All right, let's take a look at Game 3 highlights now. And an excited Hardin County team pulls off a 5-3 win in the third and final game of the match, where Vera Kimball outbowled any other girl in this match with a 3-game total of 608. The final match points were 16-8, and the higher pin total match produced the final of 19-8. It's the Division I State Bowling Tournament Championship here in the state of Tennessee. Columbia Central Lions, Soddy-Daisy Trojans coming up next from Smyrna. Game 1 highlights. Game 1 goes to the Lions. Although both teams scored the same amount of individual points, the Lions pick up 2 extra points for having a higher total pinfall than the Trojans. So on to Game 2 highlights. In Game 2, the score was pretty much swapped as Soddy-Daisy had 4 bowlers over 200. That gave them an extra 2 points for the total pinfall. Then Game 3, of course, will determine it all, and here are your highlights. So now on to the deciding Game 3, and you see the strike by Tanner Johnson, who was able to win the point, the match, and the state championship for his team. In Game 3, Soddy-Daisy beats Columbia Central 6-2, and with total pinfall, the final ends up being 14-13. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Chris Mooneyham. You've been watching a presentation of Play On Sports, presented by the TSSAA Network.